Good evening and welcome back to Sports Talk ATL. I am Chase Earl, joined by Alex Lord. We're going to start off with the Atlanta Falcons. They have a defense, Alex. They have a defense. And I don't think it's like, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself because I know J.J. McCarthy's a rookie quarterback and we thought there was the possibility of him struggling like he did in the first half. But I don't know how many quarterbacks could have had a lot of success on Sunday against that Falcons had a guy in the backfield within 3-4 seconds on every single play. They completely, there was no running attack. You know, maybe J.J. McCarthy got out of there and scrambled for a little bit, but Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason couldn't get anything done on the ground. Second week in a row, that's happening. Holding a passer under 170 yards for the second week in a row. If you go look at the Atlanta Falcons stats through 2 weeks, and I know every year is different, but this is two playoff teams from a year ago, one on the road in prime timing. You know, they're top five in basically everything, every single stat. Pressure rate, James Pierce Jr. by himself is top five. The defense by itself, top five. Sack rate, top five. Second in turnover margin. Fifth or something in turnovers forced. Second in passing yards allowed. Ninth in rushing yards allowed. I mean, they're a top 10 defense, top five in most every single metric through 2 weeks. And what's the best part about it, Alex? It's all the new faces. Like Rugeroro, Brandon Dorless, and Zach Harrison were nothing last year. Jeff Ulbrich comes in and all of a sudden you're like, they can all play football. They're all pretty good.
I want to go out and just, first of all, I'm not going to temper expectations. I'm not going to we're the 85 Bears. I mean, we might be the greatest defense of all time. I mean, going from, you go, oh, he's being silly. Going from what we've watched for the past, since 2017, so 2018 to 2024, to going to what we are now, it is literally watching the 85 Bears now. It was like watching, a bunch of Make-A-Wish kids trying to stop Peyton Manning, and now we're the 85 Bears. That's how dramatic of a turnaround in this is. And you mentioned it. I think, you could kind of credit Dorless's and Zach Harrison's and Rook's kind of development. I don't think that could be, that can't be unsaid. But what I want to just, flat out say is they couldn't have developed that much in an offseason in like 8 games combined last year or 10 games combined. They can't develop that much. It's just impossible. There's one reason why they've turned it around. And it's not that they've turned it around. They were just good football players playing under a complete moron in Jimmy Lake. And I do think that Terry Fontenot deserves a lot of credit. Raheem Morris deserves credit for whatever he had of say in drafting those guys. But, I mean, Jimmy Lake, I can't believe he had the job. It can't be said enough how bad he is at his job, because I don't think Jeff Ulbrich is, the best defensive coordinator in the league by any means. But I think that you're seeing that we did have some talent on that defense last year, because there are a lot of the same similar faces. Half the defense returned, but there's one big change, and it is Jeff Ulbrich. Jimmy Lake should never go near another defense in the NFL unless he's giving them water. That's the biggest, because how could Brandon Dorless develop from not playing at all in his rookie year to now becoming this guy's actually like a rotational piece now?
I mean, 4 pressures, a sack and a half. Zach Harrison basically was just not utilized at all after a good rookie season. And they basically said, you don't fit this thing. We're not going to be able to find you. And when he was on the field last year, he was pretty damn good. And they just couldn't figure out a way to get him on the field. The guy has a sack and a half. Rugeroro. And by the way, all of these guys that we're naming, because we're going to be in love with the pressure, because we haven't seen pressure. 6 sacks, 5 in the first half. Pressures on over 50% of the dropbacks, most since 2018. We're going to talk about that because we literally haven't been able to do that ever with the Atlanta Falcons. But by the way, all these same guys are basically saying, hey, you're also not going to run against it. I mean, how many times on second and 3, second and short, did the Minnesota Vikings, or 3rd and 2, they just try to hand it off? It's nope. Here's 3rd down. Here's 4th down. Oh, by the way, you want to QB sneak it? Nope. Caden Ellis is going to jump over you and hold J.J. McCarthy like his son. All of that, they're doing all of it in both phases. And then, by the way, we got these guys on the back end. Billy Bowman is unbelievable. I mean, I know it's 2 games, but he's as sticky as they come. I mean, 13.2 passer rating allowed on Sunday. 13.2. Like keep in mind, a passer rating 39.6 if you spike it into the ground every time. Like that's how sticky he was. Nearly had two interceptions, a couple of pass breakups, interception. Xavier Watts, ball hawk, certified ball hawk. We already know about Jesse Bates. AJ Terrell, I know went down, but it's exciting. It's exciting. Oh, and don't get me. Divine Diablo is a freak. The guy's everywhere. And so you credited Terry Fontenot. I know it's 2 weeks. You got to give a large amount of credit to Terry Fontenot. And nobody, I know everybody watches this show. A lot of you complain about the way that we talk about him.
I'm giving him his flowers.
What did we say would happen if you can turn this thing around? You're going to get flowers. And you look at this defense and you look how much talent is from these last 3 draft classes and the way they're playing. If this continues, you get a lot of credit when you're the general manager, and that's what Terry Fontenot is.
I mean, everything he's touched the past 2 to 3 years at this point on the defensive side of the ball has now come to fruition. And I know some people are going to say, well, see, we told you, you just had to keep waiting. You had to keep. Did you not watch what happened last year? I'm not crazy to be like Terry Fontenot sucked after watching what happened last year. Now we have some more clarity. The fact that the devil in the room was Jimmy Lake. Now that much is clear. But like, go down the list. Leonard Floyd brought in this past offseason. He got a sack and a couple of pressures. Divine Diablo looks like a home run, just like Caden Ellis. Caden Ellis is another one. David Onyemata looks like he's not on the wrong side of 30. Rook, Brandon Dorless. Both of our edge rushers got their first sack in the same game. Jalen Walker, James Pierce Jr. You mentioned Billy Bowman. His instincts are incredible. Xavier Watts' instincts are incredible. Obviously, we know about Jesse Bates. Like, every single swing, every single pitch that he threw this past offseason and the offseason before, and even going back to that offseason, at least on the defensive side of the ball, is a strike. I mean, it's been absolutely stunning to see come together. It's so nice that we don't have to rely on Michael Penix Jr. because he didn't have his best game not to go out there and be a superhero.
Yeah, I mean, you can even go further. I mean, the Caden Ellis's, the Mike Hughes, for free agency, pretty much everything. Like, it's been good. It's been good. Now we got to see it for more than 2 games, but I don't know how you couldn't be pleasantly surprised, because even if this group regresses a little bit, it's like they're still really, really damn good. They're still really, really damn good. Now, the other side of the ball, there was some encouraging and there was some discouraging. The encouraging.
Talk about offense.
Yeah, all right, that's fine. We can go to break.
Well, we'll just stick with the good because there's bad on the offense. Special teams. Every single part of the special teams was awful the week before, including, punt coverage, kick coverage. That was all excellent. And obviously, Romo, absolute stick. I mean, absolute stick.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Raheem Morris said yesterday that 90% chance Parker he just went 5 for 5, including one from 50
Well, he's counting the 10% in case, I guess, Romo dies. I said that on Twitter, and I was like, the only way you could even give it a 99% chance is like, on the off chance he, doesn't make it to the week
just
3.
gets injured, or we leave him behind on the team plane, or he misses his flight. Like, I don't know what the 10% could possibly be outside of some catastrophic incident that happens with your kicker, but he was 5 for 5 on field goals. There's absolutely no way that he is getting benched for Younghoe Koo. And frankly, like, I don't know how much longer Younghoe Koo even is tied to the organization, because it's not like you're just going to keep him as like your backup kicker on the practice squad or whatever.
I like a backup kicker.
But
it's very unusual. It's very Falcon-like.
Yeah,
we got backup kickers.
Like, what are we doing? Like let him go somewhere else. Like,
you've put us through so much pain. Go sit on the bench and watch this guy win us some football games.
Yeah, but there was some bad. But the last good thing I want to say on the offensive side of the ball, because we'll get into the bad next, Bijan Robinson.
Unbelievable.
There was we couldn't run the ball at all. So credit to that offensive line for getting some push in the run game. I mean, Tyler Algier had 76 yards. So, I mean, they had over 200 yards rushing. And if you can run the football like that, I don't care. I know we're all excited about Michael Penix and we know what he can do at the end of games. But if you, for 3 quarters, can get yourself into competitive games in the fourth quarter, or also do a lot better by running the ball and playing defense, like that, you're going to win a hell of a lot of games. The
most fun individual I've ever watched play football. Like obviously 2019 Joe Burrow, it always have a special place in my heart, but like on a per play basis.
Jayden Daniels pretty
I'm just like going from literally negative plays to positive plays is something that doesn't, I mean, it happens every single drive. Every single drive, Bijan Robinson does something that is unbelievable.
Well, and he makes people miss in areas where he shouldn't be.
It's so funny.
Like, it's like
in a phone booth.
Yeah, there are 3 guys within a yard of him, and somehow he made all of them miss with one cut. It's about, you don't see anybody do that. Like when Saquon Barkley, and they talked about it during the broadcast, was like, he's got the best cuts. Like, I don't think people realize, like, it's not even close.
And he's also like 225.
Yeah.
Or 220.
And there were a couple plays where it's like, he really is just like one little miss to be like, these are like 70-yard touchdowns, especially in that first half. And then you get the bowling ball in there and Tyler Algier, who is just so fun to watch. I mean, that running back tandem is just, it's got to be.
For a defense where you're like, I'm on my heels for Bijan Robinson, and now if I'm on my heels, Tyler Algier is going to run through my face.
And listen, this is an offense that can get significantly better, because I don't think this offensive line is in its final form. I think that's something, especially if the Falcons are winning, they're going to try to aggressively address at some point in the middle of the season. Darnell Mooney and Drake London are both banged up. I know they played, but they didn't play well. And Kyle Pitts, it wasn't the day of Kyle Pitts or anything like that. But you can't tell me Kyle Pitts doesn't look better than he did a year ago.
I wouldn't tell you that. I'd tell you he looks like a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, he looks
he
better.
Looks good.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I haven't seen him run a slant route against a corner where he just sped by him. Like, it was like, I was like, oh, he hasn't done that in a while. Where it was just like, he just made that look easy. And maybe it is. We talked about all the time for the people that stuck with Kyle Pitts, the health, the knee. Who knows? Maybe 2 years removed, we finally got a healthier version of Kyle Pitts. We know we're going to get better quarterback play from Michael Penix, but 2 weeks, Alex, I don't know. I don't know how you could not be extremely excited for what's to come this season. I mean, especially if this defense is going to continue playing like this, because then I think we have to reevaluate our expectations, because our expectations were like, all right, this team could be a playoff team. But if you have a defense that's playing like this and Michael Penix continues to improve throughout the season, now you're cooking. Yeah,
I think everybody had the expectations that Penix was, everybody should have, that Penix was going to go through growing pains. Every rookie quarterback does, and that's essentially what he is. He's still a rookie quarterback. The hope was that the defense could almost bridge the gap in those moments where, like, he doesn't have his best stuff, because he is going to give you more often than not his best stuff. And I think week 2, we already have our answer. I mean, week 1 was still a really, really good effort. Everything that we didn't see in week 1, pressures turned to sacks, potential turnovers turning into turnovers, all of that stuff on the defensive side of the ball changed. Yep. Everything, questions answered, especially on special teams, especially on the defense.
Well, now let's get into the biggest question that the Falcons still have, the biggest concern, because there is a concern. It's a legitimate one. It could be the one thing that could hold this team back from reaching its full potential. We'll talk about it after the break. There was a lot of good in the Falcons week 2 victory, a lot more good than there was bad, and everybody should be excited. But the one negative aspect is the same thing that came up in week 1, and it's the Atlanta Falcons play calling. Specifically, when you get into the red zone, this was a problem for the team a year ago, and so far through 2 weeks, it's been the worst in all of football. Like, I don't know what the exact stats are. I don't have those memorized in my head, like, because I just wrote about the Falcons defense, but I'm going to write about the red zone. I guarantee you when I go look at them, there ain't going to be a worse red zone team when it comes to getting touchdowns in the red zone through 2 weeks, because they've been just absolutely abysmal. And even when they got the touchdowns, you're talking about Michael Penix running around for his life to get a touchdown.
And the Vikings just giving us
like they literally had to say, hey,
Superman, and then a gift.
Yeah, nobody play defense on this play, and the Falcons will score a touchdown in the red zone.
Yeah, the red zone is a concern. And we can all be. I'm now on the positive train of Falcons fans. I've never gotten off the Kyle Pitts train. Even when Michael Penix has a not so great game, our defense, like I'm saying, 85 Bears. We now have the 85 Bears. Jeff Ulbrich, the special teams. We have a kicker. But the red zone offense is a major concern, because at a certain point into the season, we are going to need to convert those red zone trips to turnover or to touchdowns. And it's not just a play call. It's everything. There's procedural stuff. I mean, look this up when you do it. How many penalties do we have dating back to last year of red zone penalties inside the 10-yard line more. Like, it feels like all the time last year. It's happened to this year. I mean, Bijan Robinson has a drop in the red zone for as great as he was. Michael Penix misses Darnell Mooney when he rolls out to the left. And obviously, Zach Robinson's up there with, the monkey clanging cymbals trying to cook up a red zone play. I mean, it's all bad. It's all bad. And, it's just, I don't know. It's not like I have the answers, but it can't be that hard to cook up one thing. Like last week, we go, yeah, you know what the best play is? Dive to the fattest man in the NFL in Vita Vea. That's who will run out. The fattest guy in the NFL. And then this week, I mean,
well, they went back to it several times too.
Timeout, delay a game, false start, Bijan drop, Michael Penix misses Darnell Mooney. Not one positive. I mean, just absolutely. After Bijan Robinson just ran through the entire Vikings defense, he got us down to the red zone by himself, and we couldn't convert. And it happened all game long.
Yeah. No, I mean, this game, like I said during the game, it should have been 27-3 at halftime. It should have been a 30-point game in the third quarter, and we're talking about like, hey, it still looks like we're going to win this game, but why are we in this game at all? Like, this should have been like everybody who had a beer in their hand on Sunday night, the second half should have been a celebration. Like the Falcons are back because it was such a blowout, because that's the way their defense dominated. That's the way their offensive line dominated. But the procedural stuff was embarrassing. And I don't know if
it keeps happening.
I don't know if some of that is you have a young quarterback. The crowd was definitely a big factor. That's something that Minnesota, for everything they did horrendously on Sunday night, the crowd, it wasn't
fans
their fault.
Showed up.
Yeah, the fans showed. They're about the only part of the Minnesota Vikings team that showed up. But yeah, it has to be better. And I think some of that is on the feet of Michael Penix. Some of that is on, the players making plays, Bijan Robinson making plays. And then a lot of it is on the play calling. Like, it does seem like there's very poor play calling in critical situations, talking 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, stuff like that can change the game. A lot of it are super odd plays. My favorite play call, and I want to hear what you think about this, when they line up Tyler Algier as the fullback. You want to do that halfback dive crap? No, give me the fullback dive where they do the double running backs with Bijan Robinson as the halfback and Tyler Algier as the fullback, because I've seen that play work every single time.
Why do that when you can line up in the shotgun on 3rd and 1 and hand it off?
Pistol it? No,
why do that?
Give me the I formation. You want to run halfback dive? That's fine. Give me fullback dive. Give me Tyler Algier your bowling ball and get him close to the line of scrimmage.
Put Charlie Warner in the fullback position. Put Tyler Algier 7 yards deep and just run behind Chris Lindstrom. Seems like if we are going to run at fat man Vita Vea, maybe that's what we do. I mean, I'm baffled by how much talent we have and how bad we are. And this is not a new trend. I mean, this was something that, Zach Robinson had really no issues working between the 20s. Getting to the red zone was never really an issue, even for him and Kirk Cousins last year and Michael Penix. But getting into the red zone has just, I mean, it escapes him. He has no idea. It's like he gets there and he forgets that he can call something other than a pistol dive or, that 3 back and then sweep it. It's just absolutely mind-boggling. I don't get it. For as creative as he can be in some areas of the field, he turns into a 3-year-old in the red zone. Yeah. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
And that is like the only real, schematic negative that I could come up with, because the Falcons ran the ball. We could not run the ball last week. Like I was saying in the previous segment, everything that went wrong last weekend against the Buccaneers went right this weekend. Special teams was not only it wasn't a liability, it was an asset. We were kicking. The kickoff and punt coverage was great. It was phenomenal. The defense turned the opportunities into turnovers and sacks. We could not run the ball a lick last week. Now we're running the ball. Unfortunately, some of the stuff did, Drake London, I'll say this, and maybe it is the injury. He's got to be better. He's got to be better. He'll tell you that. So I'm not just being negative and picking on him. He's got to be better. We expected him to be a top 10 receiver in football this year. He is not playing like a top, and that's through 2 weeks, not just this week. He's got to have those balls in the end zone last week against the Bucs. He cannot fumble it after we just the defense turned the ball over. You have to capitalize. That's what good teams do. You capitalize. Even if it is 3 points, who cares? You just cannot fumble that ball with an absolute dot of a ball from Michael Penix Jr., by the way.
I'm not worried about Drake London being better, though. I got a lot of faith in Drake London. I got faith in Darnell Mooney having a much bigger impact than we've seen through the first 2 weeks. Both of those guys dealing with their respective injuries. My biggest question is, can this red zone offense, can Zach Robinson get it humming? And the thing is, we're going to talk about it negatively. I don't think it's something that's unfixable. I don't think so.
I mean, it's a lot better than having like, oh, we don't have a quarterback. Oh, we don't have a defense. Oh, we have a Make-A-Wish kid calling defensive plays. Like, we have problems now that are actually like fixable in the moment. Not like, oh, this is going to take a long time.
They just got to figure out something that works. And I don't know if it's handing the ball
Copycat. Literally just go watch somebody who, other than the Eagles tush push. Go watch every single team that is really, really good in the red zone and be like that. Yeah. And then just boom.
I mean, it's a copycat league.
Yeah,
it is.
It's not hard.
It is. So I like it's something that is frustrating right now, but you're out of it. You're 1-1, and you can fix it the rest of the season. The Falcons just got to figure that out. And if they figure that out, we're really talking about a problem here, guys. We are talking about a problem in this Falcons team, something we haven't been able to say, especially on this show ever. We haven't ever been, like 4 years we've been doing this show. We've never been able to talk this positively about the Falcons. So for those of you,
this entire show has just been the same exact roller coaster. Where in the offseason, we idiotically convince ourselves we have a chance. And then throughout the season, we get more pessimistic. And now I'm not going to get pessimistic at all.
No,
unless we're talking
about I'll tell you, and we'll talk about it later in the week, but the Falcons, they better kill the Panthers next week.
Yep.
Kill them. Like, let's start taking care of business against these bad teams and beating them into the grave, just like we did the Minnesota Vikings. You do that again, we'll come back next Monday, next Tuesday, whenever we record the show, and it's going to be glaring positives getting into a big stretch where you play the Commanders, Bills, and a couple of other playoff teams. We got more football talk coming up after the break.